Hello and welcome to History and Facts, where we discover facts about days through the year. Please remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Today we are looking at August 19th through the years. Here are some national days associated with August 19th. Photography Day and Aviation Day. Okay, let's dive in with Number 1. A Gaelic Reckoning. In the summer of 1504, medieval Ireland turned up the heat on August 19th with the Battle of Knockdoe, one of the bloodiest brawls in Irish history. Picture nearly 10,000 warriors, gallows mercenaries swinging axes, nobles nursing grudges, and early firearms cracking across the hillside of County Galway. Leading the charge was Gearoid Mór Fitzgerald, Ireland's top power player, squaring off against Ulick Fionn Burke, who'd ticked off the wrong people by mistreating Fitzgerald's daughter and seizing towns. The battlefield was Knockdoe Hill, aka Hill of the Axes. The fight was all-day mayhem, leaving around 2,500 perished and a big dent in Gaelic resistance. Fitzgerald came out victorious, captured Burke's kids, and marched into Galway like a medieval mic drop. Power shifted, politics changed, and Knockdoe earned its place in history, not just for the carnage, but for rewriting Ireland's map of influence. Number 2. The Making of a Monarch. Edward I's coronation. On the 19th of August 1274, the hallowed halls of Westminster Abbey, freshly reborn in Gothic splendor, echoed with chants and ceremony as Edward I and Eleanor of Castile were crowned. Edward, tall and imposing from years spent on the Ninth Crusade, had returned to England to inherit a kingdom after the death of his father, King Henry III, in 1272. The nearly 2-year gap before the coronation was not delay, but deliberate. It was the arrival of a warrior king finally stepping into his legacy. The coronation was steeped in symbolism. The Abbey's stunning new architecture, a passion project of Henry III, now became the sacred stage for Edward's ascension. He was the first monarch crowned within the remodeled Gothic interior, a visual statement of continuity and transformation. But one object made its dramatic debut: the coronation chair. Carved to eventually contain the Stone of Scone, it would become a lasting emblem of English dominion. Though the stone wouldn't arrive until 1296, when Edward seized it from Scotland, its eventual placement marked the throne not just as royal furniture, but a political artifact. The ceremony wasn't just pageantry, it was prophecy. As the oil touched Edward's brow and the crown met his head, a new chapter began, one of legal reforms, military conquest, and the forging of what would become the backbone of English identity. His reign would shape the borders, laws, and legacy of medieval Britain in ways still felt today. Number 3. A grim day in Salem's history. Between February 1692 and May 1693, the town of Salem, Massachusetts became the epicenter of one of the most infamous outbreaks of mass hysteria in American history. On this day, 5 people met their end during the height of the Salem witch trials. George Burroughs, a former minister of Salem Village, accused of being the ringleader of the witches. He shocked the crowd by flawlessly reciting the Lord's Prayer at the gallows, something believed impossible for a witch. John Proctor, a respected farmer who had openly criticized the trials. His defiance made him a target. George Jacobs Sr., an elderly man accused by his own granddaughter, who later recanted her testimony. Martha Carrier, called the Queen of Hell by her accusers, she maintained her innocence to the end. John Willard, a constable who had refused to arrest suspected witches, which led to his own accusation. All 5 faced the gallows at Proctor's Ledge, a site now memorialized in Salem. This marked one of the darkest moments of the trials, as public doubt began to stir, especially after Burroughs's final prayer. Number 4. Cab of Tomorrow. Let's hop back to London, 1897, where the future quietly rolled down cobbled streets, electric taxis. Invented by Walter Bersey, these London electrical cabs ran without smoke or steam, humming softly through town. These electric taxis were officially licensed for public use in London, just one day after their debut on August 19. They were nicknamed hummingbirds, zipped along at about 9 miles per hour, and could travel 30 miles per charge. Passengers adored them, but mechanics didn't. At 2 tons, they chewed through tires and batteries faster than you could say Piccadilly. By 1899, they vanished, but their spark lived on. Today's electric cars owe a tip of the top hat to Bersey's buzzing buggies. Number 5, the day images went public. Say cheese, history buffs, because August 19, 1839 was the day photography went public. Louis Daguerre had just cooked up the dazzling Daguerreotype, a process that could capture ghost-like portraits on shiny metal plates. Imagine selfies, but requiring iodine fumes, mercury vapors, and a whole lot of patience. Pretty metal, literally. Instead of slapping a patent on it, the French government threw open the doors, declaring it a gift to the world. No copyrights. No paywalls. Just open source imagery before open source was even a thing. Portrait studios began popping up faster than baguette shops in Paris. Science, art, and memory transformed forever, all because France decided to share the magic instead of hoarding it. Daguerre didn't just capture the world, he helped change how we see it. Fittingly, his name is etched onto the Eiffel Tower itself, one of 72 giants immortalized in iron above Paris, where his vision first took shape. Number 6, stars, stripes and soapboxes. Buckle up for a blast from the past. On August 19, 1934, the very first all-American soapbox derby zoomed into history in Dayton, Ohio, with gravity-powered cars and a whole lot of youthful ambition. The event was sparked by Myron Scott, a photographer who saw kids racing homemade carts and thought, why not make this a thing? He did, and it became a national sensation. That inaugural race drew 362 kids and a crowd of over 40,000 spectators. The winner was 11-year-old Robert Turner, who earned a 4-year college scholarship for his victory. Fun twist. The very next year, the race moved to Akron, Ohio, where the terrain was better suited for downhill racing. That's where the legendary Derby Downs track was built, and it's still hosting races today. Number 7, the Cosmodogs who changed history. On August 19, 1960, the Soviet Union achieved a monumental milestone in space exploration with the launch of Korabl Sputnik 2, or Sputnik 5. This Vostok 1K spacecraft carried a remarkable crew, 2 dogs named Belka and Strelka, along with dozens of mice, rats, and a variety of plants, all part of a grand experiment to test the survivability of life in orbit. The mission lasted approximately 26 hours and successfully completed 17 Earth orbits before returning safely to Kazakhstan, landing just 10 kilometers from the targeted recovery site. It marked the first time living organisms were sent into orbit and brought back alive, laying critical groundwork for future crewed missions. This mission wasn't just a technical triumph, it had geopolitical ripple effects too. Belka and Strelka became furry symbols of Soviet scientific prowess, especially as Strelka later gave birth to puppies, one of which was gifted to Caroline Kennedy by Nikita Khrushchev, as a Cold War gesture of goodwill. However, things weren't entirely smooth. During the 4th orbit, one of the dogs became ill, prompting future missions to be shortened for safety. Still, the success of Sputnik 5 directly paved the way for Yuri Gagarin's legendary flight less than a year later, forever changing the trajectory of human spaceflight. Quite the journey from bark to blast off. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed your visit to History and Facts. If you did enjoy, or find the video interesting, we have many more coming. So please like, comment, and subscribe to be notified when we release a new one.